Okay, so this video is to review the stuff that anyone who was absent the last Friday that we had class in school, these are the assignments that we had that day. First, we had the plate boundary quiz. There were two versions. There's the regular version and then there's the honors version. So when you look at the PDFs that are attached, make sure you look at the titles. One just says plate boundary quiz. The other one says honors plate boundary quiz. Okay, so these are open note quizzes. All the notes that you were supposed to have taken that week leading up to the quiz is how you find your answers. So make sure that you look at your notes. Don't just Google things because you might not find the proper answers, okay? First, there are 3 boxes here, okay? And the directions say, in the boxes below, draw and label the 3 types of plate boundaries, okay? We talked about in class how there's a plate boundary, okay? And then there are fault lines that happen on those plate boundaries. So there's macro, the biggest thing, which is the plate boundary, and that was the thing with the arrows pointing in different directions that was on the whiteboard all week. That's what a plate boundary is. A fault line, okay, is the movement of the ground on a plate boundary, okay? So the San Andreas Fault is on a transform plate boundary, okay? And you need to tell me a few different things, all right? You need to tell me the name of the plate boundary, okay? Illustrate it, and then which type of fault occurs there, all right? I just gave you a hint of what that means, what it's asking you for. And then tell me which type of stress causes those faults. So there's 4 points in each box, right? So there's the picture, the boundary, the fault, and the stress. Don't forget stuff, okay? Because when I was correcting a lot of these, a lot of you forgot 1 or 2 points. And then it says down here, please draw a compression fold and label the anticline and syncline. That's a question that's on the worksheet that we did alongside the notes. So it's right there. You cannot miss it. It's on that worksheet that we did all week with the notes, and it's a picture that we all drew together actually on the first day that we took the notes. And on the back for honors people, there are some fill in the blanks, okay? So only the honors people need to do the back. But make sure, again, that you're looking at your notes because it's fill in the blank, and some of these things are definitions, okay? Just find the vocab word and find the sentence that matches these things. Now, so your week 1 assignment was about volcanoes, and we have all of these pages here. What kinds of volcanoes there are, what a volcano looks like, its different parts, different types of lava, and what they do. This is a PDF that you guys either already have or you have access to it. So these are notes for you to have to understand. And what you want to do is you're going to make a poster of a current volcano on Earth, active or inactive, meaning it's currently producing lava and making things happen, or it's dead and it hasn't been active for a while. You want to tell me when its last eruption was, okay? Where it is, like what's the name of this volcano? List the type of volcano it is. That's the most important thing, because the type of volcano it is affects how you're going to draw it. It's going to look different than other volcanoes. You want to make sure you label the different parts of the volcano similarly to this, all right? And I want it a little bit, not enormous. It doesn't have to be a 3-sided board. That is way too big. But I want it bigger than an 8x10 so you have room to put everything on it. And, just have fun with it, right? It was supposed to be a whole week's worth of work, which means, I want to make sure that it's colored, that it looks like you put a lot of effort into it, all that kind of stuff, okay? Because the whole point of this is to show me that you did research and that you understand what even is a volcano, and that there are different types and that there are different pieces and moving parts to a volcano. Okay, because we've been talking about the rock cycle, and we sort of like touched a little bit on different types of, you know, magma versus lava, and how these things sort of happen and work when we talked about igneous rocks and sedimentary rocks, right? So you should be at least familiar with all of this. The next assignment was a natural disasters essay. Okay, so what you have to do is read the whole PDF, make sure that you are carefully understanding that it has to be 5 to 7 sentences, full sentences per paragraph. You pick your own natural disaster that is up to you, and then you do the research and make sure in the description on the PDF it tells you what information I want in each paragraph. So when you are going to turn that in, okay, you can either send it to me as a document or type it in manually. When you type it up, you want to make sure that you're checking for spelling errors, okay? You want to make sure that you read it out loud to yourself, because sometimes things make sense when we look over it very quickly on a screen, but then when we read it out loud, we realize, oh, that actually doesn't make sense at all. Hang on, let me fix that, okay? So you have to kind of be your own grammar police, okay? These 3 things that I just told you about were supposed to be due the Monday that we got back. But because I know that some of you may or may not have been aware of its existence at all, I'm going to say that the due date is actually the Monday after spring break. I will have directions written out as well that help you to make sense of how to actually submit these things to me. So if you have more questions, that's okay, but just make sure that you not only watch this video, but that you also read the things that I write out to you. Okay, so good luck and happy researching, and keep an eye out for this upcoming week's work. It won't be a crazy amount because I know a lot of you actually have not had the work leading up to this, but it's basically just going to be more things on volcanoes and earthquakes. Okay? So get back to me when you have questions, guys.